All right, I'll call the August 3rd City Council meeting to order. Call the roll.
Ashley Aller here. Abby Hansen. John Hawkins.
Here.
John Marble.
Here.
Megan McFarland here.
Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call for a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Item 1 is petitions, communications and requests. This is a time of the meeting that a citizen may address the council on a matter not on the agenda. No more than 5 minutes per person. Except in cases of emergency, the City Council not take any action at this meeting, but ask city staff to research the matter. I have the matter placed on the agenda for a future meeting. You got something for us tonight?
A few months ago, I went up and talked to John.
Tell us your name.
Oh, Mark Gillette. I love
Oh.
stopped in and talked to John about real estate. I was only needed 10 minutes, but it took us an hour. It's fun. So around 2008, the council was asked to increase the permits of connections for new construction for a 3/4 inch line or $1,600, or for a 1 inch line, $2,300. That was just the permit cost, which is pretty anti-growth. Well, in 2011, they rescinded that ordinance. Everything went back to normal. So around 2007, the council was asked to adopt the international building codes. The codes were the same as ours at the time, so there was really no problem. It passed 5-0. Unfortunately, they didn't tell us that every 2 years they increased more rates, more money. So a few years back, before John's time here, the manager, and Daniel and the Yahoos you hired down in Des Moines or Polk County got together and they had the council change the ordinance. So instead of costing $6,000 to $8,000 put in water and sewer, it went to $18,000 because of these, which that can be rescinded also. We're gonna be tearing down 75 houses. We really, and you want growth, you're not gonna get it with $18,000 with all the infill lots we have. The other thing we talked about was granny houses and where you could tie on to the existing house, if there's room for the water and sewer, save thousands of dollars doing that. Plus you could have either Airbnb, a small rental, or a granny house. So what I dropped off tonight for you is something to read. They have these little annexations in Cedar Rapids, Cedar Falls, Portland, Oregon, British Columbia, California, although it probably takes 2 years to get the plans. So I hope you consider it. I do have a lot next to my house, which I'd like to put in a sewer and water. Then I could sell it in the future if I wanted to. Or if I can't, because I'm not going to spend $18,000. When it artificially up, that's crazy. So I won't be building there. If I can, and you can change the ordinance, takes 3 to tie into my house, I'd already had a house built for a Grammy house or a Airbnb or just a family come say hi, you know. So give you something to think about. I hope you do.
Good.
All right.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Paul. Mark.
All right. Close enough. Yeah, it's close. All right. Consent. The following items have been deemed non-controversial routine actions to be approved by the council on a single motion. If a council member or member of the audience wishes to have an item removed from this list, it will be considered on its normal sequence on the agenda. I have A is the minutes of July 20 meeting. B is claims in the fund list. C is the issuance of beer and liquor licenses by the Iowa Department of Commerce for recommended for the following: approve new Class C retail alcohol license, including outdoor service for Wildcat Products at 713 Second Street. Approve a new Class C retail alcohol license for Now and Forever at 1102 Second Street. And approve a new Class C retail alcohol license for Now and Forever at 1803 Superior Street. That's former Yes Way. And then D is a resolution authorising issuance of a cigarette, tobacco, nicotine vapor device retail permits for Brood number 7 and Now and Forever former Yes Way at 1803 and 1102 Second Street at Superior Street and Superior Second Street. E is a resolution directing publication of gross wage salaries for the full-time and part-time city employees for the calendar year of 2025. That's it.
Motion to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
And then general agenda, we have a public hearing on a proposal to renew the citywide urban revitalisation plan for residential tax abatement. I'll open the hearing. Are there any written objections?
No, there were not.
Are there any oral objections? Okay, I'll close the hearing. Ariel, you're right on time.
I apologize. Good evening, council. So this item is just before you. The plan was adopted in 1993. What it does is on infill lots, it allows for 3 years of 100% tax abatement on new construction, and it does have to be reviewed every 3 years. We have had about 140 new dwellings that have taken advantage of this 100% 3-year tax abatement. And we actually just approved one at the last meeting, so that would move it to 141. The Planning and Zoning Commission did review this and recommended to the council for it to be extended another 3 years. So tonight I'm just requesting that you approve the plan for another 3 years.
Okay, any questions? Resolution adopting the continuance of the urban revitalisation for residential tax abatement.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Brian, would like to come up? Did you want to talk on your request for the lower the lot prices at 2501 North Pembroke?
Yeah, I think, I sent out an email and I apologize to John, you went on the website, so I didn't have your email address, so.
There was a problem with my picture, so.
Okay. So, well, anyway, I laid out a lot of the points on this, and the one point that I forgot and left out of it was during the time that we did these construction, we had these up for sale. The city had been redoing the streets in that area and had it blocked off and made it very difficult to get to that area. So it was tough for people if they could just drive around and see what was going on. They couldn't even get to it very easily. So that contributed, I think, a factor to that. We did lose a sale on a house, one of the houses out there. When they did their budget, they figured out the property taxes were, quite a bit higher than what they expected. So they were not able to put it together with their budget, so we lost that sale. And I imagine we'd have to talk to the realtor, but I'm sure other people had the same situation when they looked at it. We combined that with the cost of lumber and all construction materials going up, and then and environmental rates going up. It really made it handicapped hard to sell. There's a few other factors, there's a lot of lots out there on the west end that you guys have experienced for years aren't selling. A lot of that's directly related to the cost of the lot. They're not a wooded lot or real scenic. You got the highway you're dealing with. So there's some challenges out there that, need to be addressed to help sell them. And so with all those things combined with, the tough environment, it made it very hard to sell houses. We lost on average $34,000 a house is what we lost. This house here is in the same situation, especially when we've held it for over 2 years. So makes it hard to do. And given the fact that the city's willing to incentivize another builder to try to build out there, you know, I appreciate that, and I think that's the right step. But we'd like to have ours reduced down to a lower rate to help us absorb some of the losses we've taken on that. And also, you know, to make it more incentivized towards us building some more houses in the future. So, you got any questions?
This specific lot, when did you start construction? When did you sign the contract?
I have to look, I believe it was 2023.
2023.
That's what I found.
Right. I looked. I could not find it.
Yeah, so
2023. And I
we
would-
paid full price on the other 3 lots that we did. You know, and we did carry them for quite some time to get them sold, but we did finally get them sold.
Yeah.
And with that and the other houses, I think you'll see we have contributed a large amount of tax base to the city over the last, you know, 6-8 years that we've been building here, so. We want to continue that, we need to try to address you know, the costs, so we can absorb those moving forward.
And the house currently, I've driven by, I've heard 2 or 3 different things. The house has been sold.
Yes,
Has that completely gone through and
What's
that's
that?
final and that's,
yeah, it's fine.
okay. So I will tell you all, I'm not gonna vote on this because I do work with Brian's wife very closely. And I don't want that to be portrayed as a conflict of interest. But, you know, John and I have talked, you can tell me there's a contract in place, because there is. Contracts get amended all the time. So I'm less concerned about there being a contract than anything else. I do think, you know, considering we're trying to build and expand the housing in Webster City and grow the tax base, that we did just allow this other company significantly different lot rates. And I think at this point, it would be the right thing to do. I realize this was several years ago. It's not like he signed it yesterday and now we're trying to change it. This was a couple years ago. Different city administration, I think, even possibly at that time. And so while I'm not gonna vote, I would say it's something I think the council should seriously consider looking at the price.
Errol, did you say that you've already paid 1,000 for this lot, have you?
Pardon?
There's already 1,000 paid for this lot?
I believe
Is
so,
that right?
yes.
I mean, I'm prepared to, it seems you've already paid the 1,000. I'm prepared to call that good myself. I think you've done enough stuff. Do I like the idea that we're changing the contract now? But no, I don't. But at the same time, I can see why you're asking, and we're doing a deal with somebody else which is better than what you got. So I'm happy to do that, but I guess it's over to you, Megan, what you think. So
Yeah, I think that's it.
So I go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that's a good idea too.
I appreciate everything you've done, and you know, I am, you know, if you had come to us this year, and I think that you would have been gotten a favorable, you know, price for those lots. I can't speak for the council then. I wasn't on the council. You know, I do, and I know contracts have been amended. I worked in sports for 40 years, and contracts get changed. I'm kind of a different mind. I believe the contract is the contract, and I do recognize though that you've done a lot for our community. So,
And I will say, I'll remind you that we did in 23 or 24 bring a proposal to buy significant more lots at a reduced price to the council, and it was rejected then too. So,
yeah, and so I think if you did that now in the future, I think that you would find that, you know, this council, in terms of economic development and the shortage of housing, you know, would be more amenable to things such as that.
do you want to make a motion to make the $1,000? Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to make it $1,000. What's already been paid.
that, uh, so I'll second that, so. Wanted, yes, you're doing your, actions abstaining, so.
Yep,
And
you
you're a
got
no.
that.
You're a no.
I'm a no.
You're a no, and you're both yeses?
Yeah.
Got it.
So, well, you know, you've paid for it, so.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that right, Zach? Yep. All right, item C is a resolution providing for notice of hearing on proposed plan specifications, proposed form of contract and estimate of costs for construction of Mary Ann's water main extension project for September 8th at 6:05 PM. Brandon.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Yeah, so we're ready to set the hearing on Mary Ann's water main extension. Prior to construction of the facility at Mary Ann's Specialty Foods, city staff and Mary Ann's Kelly Perleski sat down and talked about how to assist them with water pressures and flows. And at that time, we kind of came up with a joint solution is to bring the water main where it previously had dead ended on the north side of their property all the way to the west along the property line, back east along the railroad tracks where it currently is dead ended. And here's where our portion of the project comes into play, is where we would then tie on to where they left off under the railroad tracks into East Second Street, where it would become a loop system. Looping this system has plenty of pros for them. You know, increases pressure, water pressure flows, but also the biggest thing is for fire prevention with the new buildings, stuff like that. On our end, stuff that we look at is if one of the facilities, Mary Ann's or custom eats, would have to be shut down for whatever reason. Previously, it would be we shut one of them down, and so that's not with a big manufacturer, a big business in town. We don't like doing that, and so with this loop system, we will be able to separate the two. So,
Good. So we're just setting the hearing.
yep.
Motion to set a hearing.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item D, there's resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Plainer Brothers Crushing LLC for 2027 concrete crushing services.
Yeah, so kind of a yearly thing we do. Last year, I know we kind of took some time off of this. We had the big panel replacement project that we had going on, so we had a lot of material come in. And so this year, we decided to do something different. We decided to work in collaboration with Secondary Roads with Ryan, with the county engineer. He had a lot of concrete that he needed crushed as well. So we put two contracts together, worked together, went out for one quote bid, and got had three people turn in Mobile Crushing, who typically does our crushing the last several years, Plainer Brothers Crushing, and then Maxon Trucking Materials. It's kind of different, but several years ago, we were at like $7.25. And usually this goes the other direction. I just talked to Matt this morning with Mobile Crushing, and I think they're just getting into a bid war, and we're down to $4. And so it's really good for us. And so obviously the rock that we use for projects, alleys, and all the good stuff with our roads. So we would recommend going with Plainer Brothers Crushing, $4 per ton with zero cost of mobilization.
Thank you.
I appreciate that you work together with the county. I think that's a great way to
Yeah,
put resources together.
Ryan and I have been talking quite a bit lately on several things, so kind of happened quick and it went very well.
Good.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah.
Call for motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Okay, good.
All those in favor, say aye. Item E is a resolution approving the purchase of a 2026 Vermeer AX17 brush chipper from Vermeer, Iowa for the electric utility. Ryan, good evening.
Good evening, council. So, first time I've heard you. So staff is requesting.
We've gone.
Staff is requesting to purchase this 2026 AX17 brush chipper from Vermeer, Iowa. with the net cost of $72,900. We currently have a 2015 Mobart that we've had a lot of clutch issues with. And that has become an issue. It currently has a bad clutch in it. And with the future of us doing all this project upkeep and road clearances and all that stuff, this unit is gonna get a lot of use in the next 5 years just to get caught up.
Well, it's,
Staff recommends approval of this for the 17,900 plus taxes.
This is also set aside in the 5-year forecast of the electric capital budget that you adopted earlier this year. That page was included as part of the packet material.
For the record, can you explain for the record what a brush chipper is? I think I know. I'm fairly certain I know, but Pat might want to know.
I've heard of it too.
So
Whatever.
free Trevor throw.
That's
branches in.
What chips them?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought too, but I'm glad.
if you've seen Fargo, you know what one.
Well, that's a wood chipper, right? Okay.
I'm curious, you say, you know, it's got clutch issues, it's had clutch
It's not the use of it.
issues. Have we spent quite a bit then trying to repair this, or have we repaired it ourselves, or?
We have had local company do it one time and, I think the company for Mobart did it the other time.
Okay.
But yeah, it's about $5,000 every time that happens, so.
And we did discuss simply replacing the clutch. We're at a tipping point with the trade-in value, it seemed like, when we talked with the folks that we got the quotes from. And the manual clutch seems to be problematic with the crews. Not that they can't operate them, but it just adds a complexity to a dangerous job already. If I'm reading the comments I've received from staff back
And this
correctly.
Premier does have a few more safety things than the last one has a knee guard that if you're getting sucked into the unit, it will trip the unit off and so there is some extra safeties involved with it.
No, I appreciate that.
Well, it's 11 years old.
Yeah.
So you got a good run out of it. So.
I'm also very curious, what's the average life of one of these? I mean, this one's 11 years old, so that's great, but I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Stop laughing at-
It's not gonna last that or longer.
Okay.
Well, I pick a lot of, or used to pick a lot of them up for Asplund all over the place. And most of them weren't, they were about 10 years old. So then they were a lot worse off than this one, but I had to say whether they used them more or less, you know, they're pretty well doing the same thing you guys are doing, so.
I'm excited to say this. The motion to approve the purchase of the brush chipper.
Thanks, Ron. All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
And then item F is a resolution approving task order number 9 with DGR Engineering Professional Engineering Services related to the city's municipal electric system arc flash assessment update and authorizing city manager to execute the agreement.
Welcome back, Rick.
Yeah.
So this is a request to approve task order 9 with the DVR for the flat arc flash assessment. So last time this was done was back in 2015. It is recommended to do it every 5 years. It's an NFPA East standard. What it is.
What is that group? And each, you just, what does that stand for?
Federal,
Electric.
yeah, it's
Cool.
fire protection or safety code, so it's kind of like your OSHA standards and stuff like that. So with this, it gives us the available arc flash ratings at different points in our system, and with the last year's system upgrades, all that needs to be updated with the new Reisner substation and all that. And what this does is lets city staff know the appropriate personal protective equipment to wear when you're in these certain areas. And also, like if Edible Gardens, their engineers want to know what the available fault current is to design their equipment. It gives us the tools to give them the right answer.
It was last updated 10 years ago. Industry standard is occasionally 5. And it was recommended as part of the broader capital plan adopted completed by DGR, and that informs our capital recommendations to you all. I think the safety aspect of this is considerable, given that we've added a new substation and will continue to make improvements to the system.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye. Thanks, Ryan. Item G is a resolution accepting and approving acquisition of property generally located at 1111 3rd Street, in the city of Webster City, Hamilton County.
So this property was deemed abandoned and unsafe, so this is just the formality that we bring it to council to accept this property. So we have been into the property and it is pretty far past its useful life, so.
This one have a lead line. The one across the
That's
street
cool.
had a lead line, didn't it? It's across the road from that one we had trouble with. You know, we had that patch in the street there for years. Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Okay, are there other items to come? Zach, I think you want to tell us about your work?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. 128 Apple's closed now. We got that done. They've combined the lots. That's the one where they have 3 years. But little shed on it, or garage on it. So that one's moving along nicely. We just talked about 11 3rd Street. So that's not much. 11 3rd Street, that one's done now, so it's taken a band. We have 3 more in the pipeline coming down that you guys will probably own in the next month as well. And then just a bunch of FOIA requests, freedom of information requests that we've been receiving. So Beth and I and John and city staff have been working on responses to that. And just in the last couple of weeks, we've been getting a handful, so which is good, I guess.
May get more tomorrow.
People want to know what's going on in town.
Question on the FOIA. Do we charge them for copy or do we?
Good question. So the answer is maybe. They changed the law in the last year.
That's what I was at.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's actual cost only, and it's supposed to be reasonable in the sense of like, if they're simply asking for something specific and it takes us 10 minutes to get it, we don't charge. If it's something that's going to spend hours, we are authorized to send them a response that says, hey, we're estimating this actual cost to be Y or X, whatever, and then they can say yes or no on it. So.
And then copies and stuff like that.
Yeah, but so far it's been pretty.
Right. Got it.
So.
Okay. Call for motion to adjourn.
Motion to.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.